Good morning, Kinder Scholars. Today we're going to be doing our Thursday, May 14th lesson, families, in your kindergarten reading packet labeled May 1st through 21st. In the back you will find this material. I did repeat a lot of this packet. You will see it starts from day one. That will be review for you for the last day. If you need the extra enrichment stuff, you can go back and use the videos and have all the worksheets. But what we need will be at the end of the packet. It is the book called Our Show, and we're going to use this book and these questions for today. We will also be using this book tomorrow for tomorrow's lesson, so please do not get rid of it. But for today, we're going to just need the book and the questions typed 1 through 3. Today's focus, scholars, is going to be to use everything that we've learned in this Unit 8 first grade fiction element unit. And today we're going to be focusing on 3 things. We're going to focus on the characters, the setting, and the conflict and solution. Before we begin, let's go ahead and review what each of those are. So number 1, let's review what the characters are. We do have a chant. If you remember it, say it with me. We'll do it 2 times. Ready? The characters are the people or the animals the story is about. One more time. The characters are the people or the animals the story is about. So the characters are the people or the animals in the story. They're usually found on every single page. They talk in the story. The story is about them. If we took them away, the story wouldn't make sense. So that's the characters. The next thing we're going to talk about is the setting. The setting is when and where the story takes place. One more time. The setting is when and where the story takes place. So the setting is when and where the story happens. When is important because it can be a lot of different things. When can be the time of day, so in the morning, in the afternoon, or at nighttime. But it can also be the day of the week. Did it happen on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? But it can also be a month. Did it happen January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December? So the time can vary, meaning that it can be a lot of different things in the story. And where can change in a story too. Scholars, you might read a book and have them be at their home, one page, but then they get in their car and go to someplace else on the next page. So the setting can change quite often in the story. It doesn't always have to stay the same. The last thing we're going to talk about is the conflict and the solution. So the conflict is the bad thing that's not happening well or going well. So let's go ahead and say that with our chant. Ready? The conflict is problem in the story. And we make our sad face because conflicts are not good. It's something that's not going well. It's something that's sad. So we're going to put our thumbs down and make our sad face. One more time. The conflict is the problem in the story. Okay, the conflict is the problem, the thing that's not going well. But guess what? The conflict always usually has a solution, and the solution is how the problem gets fixed. And that makes us happy and thumbs up. Ready? The solution is how the problem gets fixed. One more time. The solution is how the problem gets fixed. So for every conflict, there is a solution. Although there might be a conflict or problem in the story, something that's not going well, there is a solution that usually comes and makes everything all better. Now that we've reviewed, we're going to jump right into reading this book called Our Show for today's lesson. We can put on a show. We can sing in our show. Scholars, we're going to stop there because I've noticed on the title page and the front cover, so the front cover and the title page, as well as on the first 2 pages, I'm seeing the same characters. Who are the characters in the story? Go ahead and turn to somebody next to you and tell them who are the characters. Use the sentence, the characters are. Okay, come back to Miss T. If you said the characters are the boy and the girl, you're absolutely right. We don't know the boy and girl's name, but we do know there are characters. We see them on the front cover. We see them again on the title page. And we see them both on the first 2 pages. Not only that, but they're telling me we. They're talking about themselves. So our characters are the boy and the girl. Good job. Let's keep going to see if we can find the setting. We can dance in our show. We can act in our show. We can juggle in our show. We can take bows in our show. Think about where we're seeing them at right now. Do we know where they're at? Can we make a guess as to where they might be? Look at those pictures. Where do you think the boy and girl are? Go ahead and tell somebody next to you. I think the setting is, go ahead. Okay, come back to Miss T. If you said that you think the setting is either in their home or in the school or on a stage, you're absolutely right. We see that there's a ground beneath them and that there are these 2 things that look like curtains on the side. So we know that they're standing on something and they have curtains around. This might be a setting that or a stage they made at home or in their school or maybe at a theater. But we also know they're putting on a show and acting for us, so we can use what we already know to think that they might be doing something indoors. We don't really see some trees outside. We know that it's usually going to be either a stage of some sort, either at home, a school, or a theater. All right, let's keep going. We can be stars in our show. All we need is you. Oh no, scholars. All they needed was us. Think. Do you think if they need something, is that a good thing, or could that be a conflict? Could that be something that's not going well? Think about that for a minute. Okay. If they need something, that's probably a conflict. So there is a problem in the story, and the problem is that the girl and boy are putting on a show, but they're missing someone important. They tell us at the end that they need us. And they're talking to their stuffed animals. So how are they going to fix this? If they're needing something and they're missing someone important, how can they fix it? What could be the solution? Turn to your mom or dad or somebody in the room and tell them what you think, turn to them and tell them how you think they could fix their problem of needing someone else. Okay, come back to Miss T. If you said that they could find who they're missing in their show, or maybe that they get their toys and start bringing them into the show, then you're absolutely right. The problem was that they were missing someone important, but the solution is they figured out who they were missing at the end. They knew they were missing us, or the stuffed animals, and they can always bring them into the show. So that way their problem gets fixed. That's all we're doing today, scholars. I hope that you had a good time doing it. Remember, as you continue to read books or watch shows or listen to a story, think of who the characters are. Listen for the characters and setting. Think about who the characters and setting are. Talk about the problem. Talk about the solution. And continue to work on those so that you have a good understanding of it. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.